Hello. Hey Sans, how are you doing? I'll wait a little bit and see if a few more people show up. So yeah. Hey Holy Sheep. Hey Hitman. How you doing? How many of you guys are making music? Have any of you guys made a song in a music software? Today I will be talking a little bit about some of the fundamentals, some of the basic stuff that I think about when I make a song. Hello, La Mona Misa. Thanks for joining. Holy Sheep, I'm starting to. Well, this live stream could be of help for you then. Hello, Glitch. How are you? Yeah. I've attempted. I see. Right. What are you guys using, by the way? I am using Cubase to make music. You guys might be using something else. In the past, I started off, the first DAW that I used was GarageBand. And then I used Logic. And then after that, I used Cubase. And now I'm using Cubase. Hello, Breb. Yeah. I like your profile picture. It's a loaf of bread. Ah, yeah, Family Tracker. Family Tracker is interesting. I haven't used it myself, but maybe that's another stream I should do one time. Just test out Family Tracker and see what I can make in it. All right, we got some people here, so maybe we can start it off. So I'm thinking this live stream, this is not what I do every time if you're new here. Hello, Iron Insane. But in this live stream, I am going to take an old song that I made. I made it like 10 years ago. And I have the MP3 of it. And I'm going to try to just listen to it and analyze each part of the song and make it into instruments, into MIDI in Cubase. So that's ultimately what I'm going to do. I got this idea when I was listening to some of my old music on my old computer, and I thought, oh, this is a pretty decent song. Maybe I want to work on this again. And then I thought, yeah, let's do a live stream about this. It could be useful for someone who is new at composition. So I also want this live stream to be something that anyone could rewatch and just use as reference to, if they are unsure about how should I go about composing, maybe this can be helpful. And I can show you some examples. So, first of all, this is how I think about it anyway. You can think many ways about composing music, but the way that I look at music when I analyze a song, this is the basic way that I think about it. So the first question that I ask myself here is, what is a song made up of? So what are the different components of a song. And for me, the main 5 components are drums, bass, melody, backing or chords, and sound effects. Right. You might already know all of this, but maybe someone out there is like, I'm not sure what these different components are. So I'll just show you some examples before I go into turning my song into MIDI. So we got drums here. So when I think of drums, this is how I divide it. I divide it into like 6 categories, basically. And especially the 3 first ones are like the main ones for drums. So first we got kick. Hold on, I'm going to open up my Cubase here so I can show you. So we got the kick, which sounds like this. It doesn't have to sound like this. It can sound different depending on the genre. But this is a kick sound. Then we got snare. Then we got hi-hat. Hi-hat can be closed. It can be... this one is more closed, I guess. This is like half open. And this is open. And then we got cymbals. Then we got toms, which sounds like this. And then there are any other kind of rhythmic stuff that you could add to this. But these are the 5 main ones. And together a drum would sound something like this. So that's drums. And almost any song has some kind of drums in it. Maybe it's like a drum kit like this, but it could be like if it's electronic music, then the kick is like the main thing. But it's even in most electronic music, there is always kick, snare, and hi-hat. It's always a combination of these 3. Cymbals, sometimes they have cymbals, sometimes they don't. And toms is also, sometimes there are toms. Toms are used for fill-ins, but sometimes there are no toms. Yeah. Okay, so this is drums. So, bass. Yes, bass. Anyone who plays the bass here? So bass is the low sound in any song. It's like the lowest frequencies that is also playing the bass of the chords. Oh, Sans is playing the bass. Nice. So there are, I think, 3 kinds of bass in most songs. Either it's an electric bass, which can sound like this. Ooh, I can do. Yeah. Yeah, Stand By Me. Now the acoustic bass version of this, acoustic bass is like something that is used in maybe jazz or, I mean, in classical music. It's not called acoustic bass in classical music. Maybe it's called, what's it called? Like double, I forgot what it's called. Anyway, it sounds like this. So yeah. And the last one is Synth Bass. So Synth Bass, there are very many variations of this, but it can sound like this. By the way, if you have any questions, feel free to put it in the chat and I will see it and I'll try to answer it. So we got drums, we got bass. This is what I listen for when I listen to a song and try to analyze each part of it and then make it into MIDI. So drums, bass. And we got melody. So melody is like when you think of a song, usually the main thing you think about is the melody. Like a song that I made, Ike Baby, the melody is da 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 dun dun da 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 do da dun da da dun dun. So probably when you think about that song, you think about this part, and it's the melody. A melody in normal, pop music is singing. Any song with lyrics. So it's vocals, but it could be any instrument. So I could have a piano can play a melody. Like that, or a guitar can play a melody. Or it could be like strings. What is this? So yeah, there are many instruments that can play a melody. And in normal pop music, it would be the vocals. The start sounds like Once Upon a Time. Once Upon a Time. I'm not sure what Once Upon a Time is. Maybe it does. All right, and the fourth category is backing and chords. So backing and chords is what is played in the background. That, like, one way that I think about it is like this. Bass is the lowest part. Backing chords is the mid part, and then on top of that we got the melody. So melody is usually the highest part. Then in between we got backing and chords. And chords means that you play more than one note at a time. So a melody only plays one note, like this. But a chord plays more than one note, so it can be this is a chord, or you can play 3 notes. Or you can play 4 notes. This is all backing or chords, we call it. And so common instruments for backing is like piano. So, like this. Or guitar can be used, like if it's hard rock or something like. Maybe lower is better. Yeah. And you could use strings. Another common one is brass, and brass is like trumpets, trombones, saxophone, something like that. And then we got synth. By the way, like, I'm explaining this in very basic terms. So this is just how I think about it, like the basic categories. And you can go into details with each one of these. Like, even if you talk about pianos, there is electric pianos, there are acoustic pianos, there are many kinds of pianos, and the same thing goes with guitars or strings or whatever it is. So this is just a very simple way of looking at it. Okay, so the last big category is sound effects. And this one is very interesting when it comes to making music in a music software, because it doesn't really, it's not something you use in a band. Like, you can't do it live, or you could, but it's not as common. It's more something that is specific for electronic music, or something you make in a music software. So some common sound effects, or this is how I think about sound effects, like different categories of sound effects. And there might be other ones that I haven't listed here, but these are the main ones. So a very common sound effect that is used so much in electronic music is reverse cymbals. Reverse cymbals is used all the time. And a simple reverse cymbal would sound like this. So how it's used is, or first of all, what is a reverse cymbal? A reverse cymbal is, you take a normal cymbal, and I'll play a normal cymbal for you first. Maybe it's easier to understand that this way. Oops, that's not a cymbal. This is a cymbal. This is a normal cymbal. A reverse cymbal is, you take this and the end of the cymbal becomes the start, and it goes backwards to the beginning. So you reverse it. And so it becomes this. And it's used a lot before, like, a start of a new section. It does something like that. So reverse cymbals. Hello, Stormtrooper. How you doing? Reverse anything? Well, I was just thinking, you could do it with cymbals, but you could do it with any other instrument. You could do it with guitars, for example. Like, if you do, I don't have an example of it here, but if you do like jam, you could make it like that, and that's a reverse guitar, and it's used in a lot of like rock music. They use reverse guitar, and it's just you make the end becoming the start, and it goes backwards. So reversing anything is a fun thing to do. And then we got uplifters. Uplifters means it starts from a low pitch and it goes gradually to a high pitch, and it can sound like this. So it started low and then it got to a high place. So this is also used a lot in electronic music, and maybe it's slower than this one that I showed now usually, and it can be for like a long period of time in the background, but it helps building up a section, you know, making it more exciting gradually, and then you hit the chorus of the song, or the main part of the song after this uplifter has finished. And the opposite of an uplifter is a downlifter, and it sounds like this. So it starts on a high pitch and it goes downwards gradually. This is also used a lot. And the last one is a one shot. And that's just anything that is not a melody, that is not like a drums really, or not a bass or anything like that. It's just some kind of sound effect that is used one time quickly. For example, a gunshot. Like something like that. That can be used in a song. So it's just a one-time thing. Yeah. All right. So these are the things that I keep in mind whenever I analyze a song. If you're watching this afterwards, after the stream is finished, feel free to ask me questions in the comments about this. Like if you're wondering something specific about any of these categories. Yeah. But for me, it helps me to... and I want to mention one thing about this too. If you did not think about music in this way, maybe it was difficult for you to, you know, pick out a certain instrument from a song when you listen to a song. So it is an interesting exercise that you can do, that I have done a lot, is when I listen to a song, I decide I'm only gonna listen for this part. So I decide, for example, in this song, I'm only gonna listen for the kick. Kick is the only thing I'm gonna focus on. And it's interesting what you'll find out if you just focus on, like, what does the kick sound like in this song? Because you might notice patterns, like what kind of pattern does it have? If it's a drummer playing, yeah, they might have a lot of interesting patterns. If it's electronic music, maybe the pattern is not that special. Maybe it's just so it's a simple pattern. But the way it sounds, like the quality of the sound, might be something you focus on and try to figure out. Like, does it sound low? Does it sound bright? Does it sound something else? And then from there on, you can try to remake it yourself. But you have to have some understanding of what categories is there in a song, what kinds of sounds is there in a song, to be able to analyze it, to then be able to make it into your own song. So yeah, these are just some guidelines, I guess, for someone who is new to this kind of stuff. I remember the first time someone told me, like, listen for the bass, like, because I never thought about it before. But then when someone told me, I could start hearing the bass lines of songs. Before, it was just all one thing. But then someone told me, yeah, listen for the bass. And I started noticing, oh, yeah, the bass is down there, because I was in an orchestra actually when I was a kid, and then the bass was playing by itself, and I could hear it, and then when we all played together, I could also hear it in the background, like being the bass of the song, and that's when I started realizing its presence in music, and that it was a separate part from the rest of the song. Yeah, so trying to listening for different parts of a song is good, and I do that a lot. Yeah, because then you can replicate it yourself. All right, very cool. Now, let's get into today's challenge. Just give me a second. Hello, Smiley Builder. How are you doing? MP3 to, yes, it's this one. So I am going to switch to a different scene, to this one. So as you can see, I am using Cubase, and in this project I have nothing at the moment. It's completely blank. And I mentioned the categories before, but there will be other things that I will mention as I go along, because I didn't well, it's easier to explain while I'm doing it, I think. So, okay. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take my MP3 file here, and I'm going to put it in Cubase. Copy paste, or drag and drop, I mean. So now it is here. Next thing, I'm going to lower the volume a lot, because I don't want your ears to hurt. All right, so first of all, let's listen to my song. So this is an old song I made 10 years ago, and I have the MP3 of this file, and I'm going to try to remake it by just listening to it. And I'm going to make it into separate tracks just by listening. So here is the song. All right. Damn, this is a banger. Thanks. Yeah. Yeah, I like, this is a nice little song, so kind of want to work on it some more. At the time, I was listening a lot to Capsule, a Japanese electronic duo, I guess. It's like a composer and a singer. So they made this kind of music, which I thought was really cool. And they always had this kind of, not like chiptune, I guess, but yeah, there was always a chiptune element in their songs. But it was more like normal electronic music. So the first thing I need to do is figure out what is the tempo of this song, because I don't know what the tempo is. Also, like I can see here on the wave file here that the start is actually like here. So if I want to know what the tempo is, it's better to have better that I do this and move it to the start. So that it's gonna be easier for me to find out what the tempo is, the BPM. So in Cubase, if you look down here, you can see what the BPM of the project is right now. It's set to 180, but that's not based on the song. That is just what this project was from the start. Usually it's actually at 120, I think, if you don't do anything, but I was using an old project and yeah, it was 180. So I need to change this to become the same as the song. So the way that I do this is I activate the metronome and then I listen and see if they are the same as the song. So without listening to the metronome, if I would do the metronome just with my mouth, it would be this. Da, 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 ba, 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 da, 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 da. Okay, so that is the tempo of the song. Now, if I put on the metronome at 180, well, actually, without listening to the song, let's listen to what 180 sounds like. So that sounds way faster than what the song is, because the song was da 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 da, and this is da 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 da. So that's way faster. Let's make it slower, 120 maybe. Let's see. Now let's listen to it together with the song and see if they are the same. Okay. So actually, it seems like this song was 120 BPM. Interesting. And you see, this song, it has a kick that is at the beginning of each beat. It is strong, or it is placed on the beginning of each beat, and you can see it on the wave file. You can see that it's like bigger here every time. That means it's the kick that shows up. So if the kick comes on each line here, then it should be the same as the tempo. That's another way of visually, looking at it. Sorry if my explanation is not the clearest, but yeah, you can just look at it and see that it's the same as the lines. So, because let's say if I had it at like 160 or something, you would see that these peaks would not be on the line. It would be on just random places like this. This one was on the line though, but yeah, this is not on the line. This is not on the line. This is not on the line. So sometimes I use that also as a reference to find out what the BPM is. But the best way to do it is just listen. Does the metronome and the MP3 sound the same? Dun, 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 dun. Yeah. Did you understand this explanation? All right, so we got the BPM down. It's 120. Now, let's see here. Let's go back to which one was it? Oh yeah, it's here. Let's see here. So first, the drums is the first category that I am going to look at. I'm going to do this in order. So I'm going to start up with drums. We got some spamming people here. Remove. And remove you too. Don't spam stuff here, please. All right. The way that I would do this in Cubase, there are many ways to do it, but I'll show you how to do this with... Everyone is dead in the chat. Yeah, that's okay. I mean, maybe this is... this will be more like... I could have done this video by myself, just sitting here and explaining it, but I'm doing it during the live stream. And... you know, maybe the people who joined this live stream is not that interested in learning like how to make music. But I'm hoping that like other people who watch this later might can take advantage of what I'm presenting here. So I will show you how to do this. If you got Cubase, like any version of Cubase, even if you don't buy any extra instruments, VST plugins, just the basic Cubase, you will have Halion Sonic. So I'm going to use Halion Sonic here and show you guys how to use this one. I don't normally use this because I use a newer version of Halion. Halion is just what comes with Cubase, but I use one that has more instruments and stuff. But it should work the same. And it's really nice because you have all these categories here. Like, and I was talking about these categories before. So you got bass, you got drums, you got keyboards and piano, sound effects, strings, synth, comp, synth lead, vocal. I don't know what, well, okay. So there are some vocal stuff, but I don't, it's gonna sound like, it's not gonna sound like a real voice, I don't think. Anyhow, let's begin with, let me explain something about how to use Halion. Halion is probably how it's pronounced. So you see, you have all these numbers here on the left, and you can put in different instruments here on each one of them. So usually what I begin with doing is having my drum set. Let's go back here. And my drum set, I put it on 1. So we can have... Oh, wait. There are different ways of doing it. Let's actually not do a drum set, because I think it might be interesting to show you this instead, kick drums, because kick is the first sound that I want to add. So let's, and this is a great thing with Halion, is they have these, like they have a bunch of different kick drums that you can choose from in one instrument. So this one is called all kick drums. Maybe I'll go with dance kicks, because this one is like a club dance kind of song. So I will choose this one. Before I continue, with anything, I want to explain one thing about Halion. So you put the instruments here, and then there is this one called main output over here. But if you click this one, you will see it says out 2, out 3, out 4, out 5, out 6, blah, 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 blah. If you want to be able to change the volume and add effects to these instruments, then you can't have it at main. You need to change it to one of these. So I'll change this to out 2. Okay, so now this dance kick is on out 2. Now if I put, let's say I put snare here, snare drums. So I'll put snare, studio snare, software snare, snare shop. Let's use snare shops. If I want snare to be on a different instrument from kicks, then I need to put it on a different output. So I'll use out 3. So dance kick is out 2, snare shop is out 3, and the more instruments I add, I will change this number here. So they become their own thing. Now, just doing this is not enough, however. Hello, Red. How you doing? So I'm gonna do this here a little bit. So you see here on my right, the Halion is here, and if I click this one, input output options, there is a thing called activate outputs. And if I click it, there are a bunch of outputs that I can activate. Now I made an output 2 and output 3, or I assigned the kick to output 2 and I assigned the snare to output 3. So if I want them to show up in my mixer, I need to click these two. All right, and now I'm going to show you my mixer, and let's see here. Ah, yes, it's this one. This is output 2. I'm going to erase that because it's, yeah. So this is out 2. And this is out 3. So it shows up in your mixer board. So now Halion is what I've done here in the Halion synth. It shows up in my mixer board. And now it's called out 2 and out 3, so I can change the name to kick. And I can change this one to snare. All right, very cool. I'm gonna do a thing here that you don't have to think too much about. I'm just doing it to I'm changing the volume of the whole synth so that it won't be that loud when I play it. Okay, so there is one last thing that I need to do, and that is to make MIDI tracks. I'll make 2 MIDI tracks. And then so this is a little bit confusing, but I'm hoping that this video can be useful if anyone wants to start making music in Cubase, because this was confusing to me when I started making music. You see, in Halion, we have this number here, 1, and the output is 2. But this number is what needs to be on the channel here if you want it to become that instrument. So I need to change the MIDI channel here to 1 for the kick. And I need to change the MIDI channel here to 2 for the snare. And now I should be able to hear kicks here. There you go. We got a kick. I can test different kicks. Maybe this one is good. All right. Now, I will listen to the song again because I will start off with kick and try to figure out what is the kick of this song. So let's listen to the song. Can you hear the kick? So kick is this sound. All right. Here's a tip. If you think a certain sound is difficult to hear, what you could do, let's see. Oh yeah, this one here. You can use an equalizer. An equalizer, if you don't know what an equalizer is, it is an effect that you use to change the frequency of any instrument or any audio file that you put in Cubase. So, by the way, spectrum is a nice thing because you can see what the file looks like in the equalizer. So here, the left is low frequencies and the right is high frequencies. So if we listen to the songs, you can see here there's a lot of low frequencies here that are high. These higher frequencies are not as loud. The low frequencies are loud and the high frequencies are not as loud yet. So I know that the kick drum is mostly low frequencies. So one thing that I could do is I could use a low pass filter. This is what it's called. I just use this one called cut here, up here. You have to do it on band 4, because if you do it, you can either do it on band 1 or on band 4. If you do it on band 1, it cuts all the low frequencies. But if you do it on band 4, it cuts high frequencies. You can choose where it should start. For example, if I do this, the kick is a lot easier to hear. And also you can sort of see it here on the equalizer. So the pattern of this song is basically just 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's basically all I need to do with the kick. So I think this is the one. Yeah, this is the kick I'll be using. So 1, 2, 3, 4. One, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So yeah, I'll just copy paste this throughout the song. Okay, kick is done. Yay! Only took me 50 minutes to get to the first instrument. That is great. So now next we're gonna listen for the snare. So before I continue, I will show you again what a snare sounds like. This is what a snare sounds like. There are many kinds of snares, but this, for example. So something like sounds like this. Let's try and listen for it in the song. So sometimes it can help to know patterns of certain styles of music and rhythmic patterns of certain kinds of music. But one thing that you can just, in general, when it comes to snares, they tend to be on the second. Oh, now I'm forgetting the word. Like, you see the 1, 2, 3, 4. If we count a beat, like it's 1, 2, or a bar is 1, 2, 3, 4. Snare tends to be on the 2 and the 4 of each bar. So if you know this, it can make it easy to listen to any song and figure out where the snare is. If I put the snare on the 2 here and on the 4 of each bar, then it should sound good. And I base this both on knowledge about, these kinds of songs tends to have the snare on the 2 and the 4, but also I listened to it and I could hear it was on the 2 and the 4. So now I want to choose a snare that works with this song, that sounds similar to this song. Like, these are all like realistic snares. This song is not a realistic snare, it's like an electronic snare. So let's, maybe I don't have. You know what? This is only acoustic snare, so I'm gonna change this from snare shop to maybe FX snares. Let's see. Oh yeah, the FX snares has this delay mix, and I don't want delay. You can hear when I click it, it has this delay. Chan, 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 chan. So I don't want that. So I'm gonna delete it, and I don't need Hall. And now. Maybe this one is good. Let's go with this. It's okay to just go with anything and that is sort of similar, and you can change it at any time if you find something that is better. Where was it? This one. It's a short one. I'll go with this. So I'll put it on the 2 and the 4. Here we go. 2 and 4. 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 There are a few places that it's not 2M4, but for now I'll just put it on 2M4 and I can figure out any small details later. 2M4. So let's listen to just the snare by itself. I can show you it here. So it's on the 2 and the 4. 2, 4, 2, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Like this. Hello, try hard gamer. Together with the kick, it sounds like this. Now let's compare it to the actual song. Yeah, that sounds all right. Sounds similar. All right. Now let's go to the next part. And I want to show you again here. For drums, we got the kick, we got the snare. The next thing is hi-hat. All right. So I'm going to do the hi-hat. So I need to go into Halion here, and I'm going to do this all again. I need to have a third output. Something that is, it's going to be confusing is that it's always this one, out 4 is on the third instrument. It's a little bit confusing here, yeah. I don't know why it's called out 2. I guess because main is out 1. But yeah, anyway. Is this kind like transcription? Yes. Something like that. So I'm taking an old song that I made and I'm going to show you how to make it, take any MP3 song basically and copy it and each part of it and make it into a new song. Or it's the same song but with each individual part. If you're interested in like the whole process of this, you should watch this live stream from the beginning because I'm explaining each part of it from the beginning, and you can use this as reference when you are trying to figure out a song that you want to copy, I guess. It's always a great thing to copy songs, like to if you're interested in composing, like it's a good way to learn music, to copy things. It's so cool watching you doing it, because this is my music channel where I transcript video game music. Oh, cool. Yeah, I'm glad you like it. I gotta check out your channel sometime. A gamer's song. Very nice. Yes. And yeah, if you're new watching this, I'm using Cubase, and I'm using like the things that you can get on Cubase from without adding anything. I think I'm gonna try to do that, like completely only use Halion. I thought about, except for one thing, I'm gonna use Medical 8-bit plug just for one specific thing. Or maybe I'll use it for a few things, just because that's usually what I use. It's a free plugin anyway, so you can use it with Cubase. Yeah. But mostly I'm gonna try to use only Halion here, the free version. So next up, I'm going to do hi-hats. Now, hi-hats doesn't have, at least in this one, there is no, with kick, you could choose kicks from here. And with snares, you could choose them from here, snare drums. But as far as hi-hats goes, there is not just a hi-hat menu or an hi-hat instrument. I think there is in the Halion 6 that I use, but not in this one. So let's just go to any drum set then. So since this is like electronic music, maybe we can try something that seems a bit electronic. Let's see. Electric Kit. All right. And if you're new to this stuff, hi-hats are usually on the F sharp and F sharp, G sharp, and A sharp. These three are usually the hi-hats. So it's like I can't hear anything. Oh, I know why. Okay. Does anyone know why I can't hear it? Well, if you were watching before, you know that if I wanted the outputs to work, I need to go here, activate outputs, and I need to click out 4. And let's go back to Halion now, and let's... There you go. Now I can hear it. I've never used anything like this. I mostly just write in music... in MuseScore. And I've tried experimenting with BandLab. All right. Actually, I've never tried either of those two, so we use different stuff, and that's fine. You can use whatever is convenient for you. Most DAWs are similar to each other. I didn't like this. I think like this will not sound great. Especially this one does not sound right. So I'll try a different one. See if I find something. This is also a little bit weak. Or maybe it's fine. I'm gonna try a different kit though. See if I find. This is too strong. Man, there's always something. Maybe I'll use this. It sounds kind of normal. Or wait, I'm gonna try this one instead. Dry Standard Kit. And I'm gonna show you something here just because this is something that is bothering me a little bit. Before I continue, I have to make a MIDI track. I'm gonna name this hi-hat. And the hi-hat has to be the same as this number here. And it is. So all right. I will show something that maybe if you're a beginner, you don't need to care about this right now. Oh, and by the way, these, you can see that there is kick snare here and then there's kick snare here. And you're wondering maybe why are there two of these? And the reason is this is what you make when you click activate outputs here. You create this first one, and when you create those, it says HS and then out 4, depending on what the number was, right? Like yeah, activate outputs like yes, it says HS out 4, HS out 5, etc. Whatever it says here will show up in your mixer board, and then you can rename it, which I did. I renamed HS out 2 to kick, HS out 3 to snare. Then I'm going to rename this one to hi-hat. Now, this one, kick, snare, hi-hat over here, is whatever I create here. So the MIDI files or the MIDI channels I create here will show up in the mixer board as well. These ones, in general, in the mixer, I won't touch them. I won't do anything to them. And actually, I can make them go away if I click here in the visibility. It is a bit confusing that they are called the exact same thing. So, I mean, I usually just call it that, but you could call it something else if you don't want to confuse yourself. Like, actually, maybe I can call this HS, just so it's not confusing. HS. All right. And I'm going to show you another thing here that I sometimes do for hi-hats. Sometimes hi-hats are a little bit like wide. They are not in the middle. They are like, maybe the hi-hat is on the right or it's on the left, or part of the hi-hat is on the right or on the left. And sometimes that sounds good, but a lot of the times hi-hat sounds better if it's in the middle. So if I want the hi-hat to be in the middle, what I could do is use a stereo enhancer. This one, this effect on the hi-hat. And this effect has something called mono. And if I click mono, it will be completely in the middle, which is nice. So now if I play this one, it will be completely in the middle. Before it was like this. And that's kind of cool. But if you want it to be completely in the middle, you can use stereo enhancer and click mono, and it will be in the middle. So there's a little tip for you. I use that sometimes. All right, so now let's get to what is this song's hi-hat pattern. Ooh, that was scary. Clicked the wrong thing. All right, let's listen to the song. So for this, I'm going to use the equalizer I was showing before, but I'm going to do the opposite thing. I'm going to remove low frequencies because hi-hats is mostly high frequencies. So I will activate this one and I will move it up a little bit. I don't know if you could tell what the hi-hat pattern is, but it's the that is the hi-hat pattern. Let's actually oops. So it's such a jam. Thanks, man. Something like this. All right, let's go into my MIDI track here and let's put it down. So that's not it. So I guess it's the C, it's the F sharp 1. Is this one, yeah. Here's the hi-hat. Now, this is not a straight beat. It's like a shuffle. And shuffle means it's triplets. So triplets means instead of counting like dot 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 dot, you count dot 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 dot. It's a little bit delayed. Dun 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 dun. That's shuffle, and it's triplets because the way you make a shuffle beat is you count 1, 2, 3, but you only play 1 and 3. 1, 2, 3. So dot 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 dot. 1, 3, 1, 3, 1, 3. 1, 3, 1. So this would be a normal shuffle beat, would sound like this. I will just show it with a hi-hat. But actually, this is slower one than the actual song is, so I need to make it double the speed. Double the speed, which means it's like this. And the actual pattern is dun ta dun dun ta dun dun ta dun dun ta dun. Like this. And this one is an open hi-hat. Yes, this is the basic hi-hat beat of this song. Let's listen to it one more time. The thing about shuffle rhythm is it's a little bit bouncier. Because if it wasn't shuffle, it'd be but shuffle is so it's I wonder if that makes sense. Let's listen to it together. Yeah. Awesome. I'm just gonna copy paste this. Now, let's listen to what kick, snare, and hi-hat sounds like together. Very cool. Any questions? I mean, some of this is difficult to understand if you don't understand much about drum patterns. It's good to either watch YouTube videos on like drummers explaining drum patterns, or different like beat makers that explains different drum patterns that are common for certain genres of music. So that way you can learn the basics so that it is easier for you when you listen to a song to analyze it. If you don't have any prior knowledge about it, it's going to be difficult to pick out small parts like this. But if you already know, and you know what to listen for, then it will be a lot easier. All right, so the next part that I will look at is, so I did hi-hat, let's do cymbals. Yeah, I'm not even sure if there are cymbals on this song. Let's listen to it. Oh yeah, there's cymbals. Can you guys hear the cymbals? So the cymbals comes like every four, what is it? Like every 4 bars, I think. So at the very beginning, there is a cymbal. Like that. So that is the pattern for the cymbals. Pretty easy. All right, let's do the thing. I'll change it to 5 here, and here on drums perk, I'll choose, oh, there we have a, this is a reverse cymbal. That's not what I want. I want a normal cymbal. Dry standard kit. I think dry standard kit is actually good for this. I'm not sure if there's any cymbals. First note is a cymbal. Yeah. There you go. Yeah, I usually add cymbals. It's just a nice thing to have. Oh wait, let's do it the way that I have explaining from the beginning. Activate outputs. Do this one here. So I'll need to activate this. All right. Then I'll add a Midi track, and I call this cymbals. And this one is on the 4 here, yes, and the 4 one is out 5. So everything is good. Yeah. Now I'm gonna change the names of things in my mixer so I don't get confused later. I'll change this one to Cymbals HS. Hey. Okay, yeah, it's changed there. It didn't change there at first. Awesome. Let's now see where is the cymbal. So usually on a normal drum kit instrument, the cymbal is on the C sharp 2, C2 sharp, I guess. So this is a cymbal. It is also usually here. It's a different kind of cymbal, and maybe it's here, I think. Yeah. So we got 3 kinds of cymbals. So I think the cymbal is a little bit loud compared to the other instruments. So I'm gonna go here and lower the volume a little bit. Now it's on 0, so let's do like minus, I don't know, 4 dB. And then let's add a cymbal. That's not a cymbal. There you are. Some cymbals, like you just do a short one and it has a long release and it will continue. Like this one, I think. No, actually, this one you have to press for a long time for the whole thing to roll. It becomes different depending on how long you press it, so maybe it's a good thing to do it long here. Or if you prefer it short, we can see how they sound different. I'm just gonna solo this one, and that's what it sounds like short. It's a little bit too short for me, so I'm gonna do it longer. So, but depending on what instrument you use, what drum set you use, you might not need to do this. You can just do a short note and it will have a long release, so it will sound like a normal cymbal. All right, so this one, maybe it's boring to have the same cymbal every time, so let's do different cymbals every time. Right. So let's see here, where should I put them? So it was, if I listen to the song again, it's like, it's in the beginning here. Yes, here the second time it's on 6. So let's put one on 6 too. And then it's on 10. I'll do this one here. Now actually I think I'm gonna go with this one. And then I'm gonna go with the other one on the next one. Okay, here. Okay, let's listen to the kick, hi-hat, snare, and cymbals together. Let's see what they sound like. All right, so that sounds pretty good. And yeah, I think like later I will probably replace some of these sounds and make it sound a little bit different. But for now, this is fine. This is fine indeed. All right, let's go to the next thing, which is so cymbals, toms, other stuff. Now, I listened to it a couple of times now, and there are no toms in this one, so we can ignore that. Other stuff, also there was no other stuff really. So I think we're done with drums. Yay! Finally, we're done with drums. Excellent. Let's go to the next thing, which is bass. Bass, bass, bass. Bass, bass, ba-do, boop, boom. All right. So the next thing I'm going to make is the bass. So maybe it's a little bit hard to hear what the bass is here. Maybe I'll make it just a little bit louder because the other sounds were louder. So I'll just make it a little bit louder, make it easier to pick out. Okay, so bass is low frequencies, which means it's easier to pick out if I remove high frequencies. So let's listen to it again with less high frequencies. So what I can hear, but I mean, I made this song a long time ago, so I sort of know what the bass line is, but I can, from listening to it like this, I can also sort of sing it to myself. What do you guys think? Is it difficult to figure out what the bass line is? It's a little bit hard to explain how you figure it out. And depending on the song, like it's not that clear. Maybe the bass and other instruments are so in tune with each other, they sort of become one thing, and it's hard to distinguish the bass from the other instruments. But at least one way that I do this is cut off the high frequencies, and it's easier to focus on what the bass is doing. All right, so let's do the same thing as I was doing before. But actually, I can kind of hear the first two beats, but then another instrument plays over it a bit. Yeah. I understand. It's difficult. It's difficult for me too. It's if it's a song I have made myself, you know, it's easier. But if it's someone else's song, you know, you sort of get it. And then, you know, if it's a good mixed song, maybe it's clearer. But, you know, this is a song I made a long time ago, so it's a little bit muddy. and many songs can be like that. So I'm gonna add a new instrument here, and I'm gonna use Magical 8-Bit Plug 2 for the first time. And I'm gonna turn down the volume a lot because I don't want your ears to bleed. I'm a kind person. So I'm gonna use something called triangle here, and the triangle sounds like this. That was a bit too much. I didn't need to turn it down quite that much. So this is the triangle. Actually, I'm gonna see here. Yeah. So what I usually do for Magical 8-Bit Plug 2, I just put it attack and release on 1 here, just so there is no like click sound after or before when you press it. Sometimes you'll have a click sound. I don't know if you can hear it. It's not that big of a deal, but to me it's a little bit annoying. So I just always put these two on 0.001. All right. So I am gonna rename this bass. And for Magical 8-Bit Plug, all you need to do is click Add Instrument and then Magical 8-Bit Plug. And if you go to your mixer now, it will show up here. And it will be the same as whatever you call it here. It will show up as the same name here. Bass. Morning, Prince. Morning, Kale. How are you? So, as I was saying before, this song has a shuffle beat, so there will be triplets. A lot of the things will be just triplets. So let's for this, it's easier to do it one bar at a time almost, you know, because it's easier to focus on one bar at a time than to focus on the whole song. So I'll just start with the first thing. Ooh, I'm gonna mute these guys. Okay. Bam bam padan dago dan kadago. That's what I can hear. So I'll put that down. Actually, I'm gonna see what does it sound like, but it's I keep getting this is where it should be. So it's no. Okay, wait, it should be here. Dun 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 ba bam. I think that's what I'm doing. Dun dun ga dun da ga dun ga dun. So something like that. I think. Okay, cool. Let's go to the next thing. Actually, it sounds like it's doing something in between. That's what it sounds like. Not da 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 do da da da. It's like do da 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 do. So I'll try to add some sort of do 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 da do. I want to add some do da da do. I think maybe if I do like this. And make these okay, so maybe it's easier to understand if I do this. So now it will become dun dun. It become a little bit more rhythmical this way. I will show you what it sounds like by itself, this bass here. Sort of sounds like that, I think. Maybe it's a little bit different, but close enough. Close enough. Let's go to the next one. It's the same rhythmic pattern as the first one. I can tell that much for sure. So I'll copy paste just to make it faster. So da da, but the notes are probably different. So let's see here. Let's listen to it again. So this process can be a little bit tedious, but you know, that's what it is. Maybe it's so actually I don't think it's this one here because yeah, it sounded like it was repeating da dan ka da dan ka dan. So yeah, that's what it sounds like, I think. Ooh, actually, let's try, instead of doing this note, let's try to do it like an octave down. That's maybe what it's doing. So this is an F. A lot of this stuff is like guessing. Maybe it's this, and then you'll listen to it and it's like, maybe it's not this. I'll try something else. And then you'll figure it out eventually. And probably in the end, it will not be exactly the same, but it will be close enough. So let's see. Yeah. You hear? This sort of like going low. You can almost not hear what note is playing, but all right, sounds good. It's doing a chromatic chord downwards. So for this, maybe it might be good for me to just check what the chord is. Let's just continue. Let's just continue, and I will do something that is close to it, and I can figure it out more when I'm doing the chords. Let's see here. This is a very active bass. This bass line is so much going on. Now that I think about it, maybe this song is not a great song for a complete beginner. It's a little bit complicated with the shuffle rhythm and everything. Ooh, I see what it's doing. It's the dun 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 dun. So it's dun dun dun, and then it starts early, I think. So it's like this, I think. Yeah. And then it does it again. I think I need to check what the chords is doing. I see. Okay. Anyway, I think the best thing to do here is just do it one octave, not one half step down, because it sounds like it's chromatic, which it is, and that's what's happening. So I think this is gonna sound correct. So it's yeah. That's what's going on here. Something like that. All right, let's listen. So you can hear it almost sounds the same as in the beginning. It's almost the same. So what I will do in this case to speed it up a little bit is I will copy paste this and put it here. But I can hear it's not this note. I could hear it wasn't this note, so I'm gonna change something. It was da da, so da. This note is what it's playing. Yeah, so it's. Ooh. Let's listen again. Here. Dun 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 ba da 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 doom. Dun dun ba da 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 doom. That's what it sounds like to me. So I will go to that. Dun, dun. Yep, I think that's it. All right. Yeah, I think the next part sounds similar. Let's go to the next here. Okay. I think it was doing exactly the same thing. So I'm just gonna copy paste. Like from, if I compare 4 to 6 here, the bass line, with 8 and 9, to me it sounds like the bass is playing exactly the same thing. So I just copy and pasted it. Okay. So together now it sounds like this. It's a little bit off, like a few places. I don't have the software to change the volume of certain pitches and stuff, so I just put my ear up to the bass speaker. Oh. Well, that's one way to do it. Now, for the next part, the pattern is this first half from 2 to 10 and from 10 to 18, like they're exactly the same, but, or not exactly the same, but almost the same, but different key. So I can copy and paste this bass line that I've made and then move the start, move everything to the new key. And I'm just gonna see here, where is the new key? This is the new key. And in the end, I noticed that it's not changing the key, or not changing 1/2 step down here. So it's something like this. You see, I'm not going into all the details of exactly what is playing. Just a good sense of it. If you want like exactly every detail, you have to sit and listen many times and compare it many times, which is good to do, but I'm speeding it up a little bit. So now let's listen to the bass line together with the rest of the instruments I've done. All right, bass is done. Now let's see here. What is the next thing? So bass is done. Next one is melody. So does this song have a melody? I think there are two parts that you could consider the melody. Well, probably. Yeah, there's just one real melody. But you could consider one of the other instruments a melody too. Let's use Halion here, and let's make a melody sound. So this is a great time to use a synth lead. So there are many kinds of synth lead. This one, I think it sounds more like a square. So I'm going to go to analog, or actually I could do synth lead and I could search synth lead, and I can search square and see if something comes up. And look, we got a bunch of squares here. Simple square solo. That sounds like it might be great. This sounds a little bit different, but we can test it out with this one. Yeah, this is good enough. Let's do this. And let's change this one to out 6. Activate outputs. This one here. Make a new Midi track. Let's see here. This is simple square solo is 5. So this one needs to be 5. I'm gonna call you square lead. Actually, I'm gonna call it square melody. Right. Then I'm gonna go to my mixer and change this from out 6 to square melody. And just HS. Alright, I'm go now. Gotta work on some of my own stuff. Have a good stream and looking forward to the finished version. Thank you. Alright, thank you for joining. So, let's listen to the song and see if there's a melody. So to me, this is the melody here. Oops, starts here. Before this, there is not really a melody. So I will do this melody. Or I will program this melody now. So let's see here. So ba 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 ba. So I can try to play it here. Good. That is the melody. I'm going to lower the volume on this one too. All right, that's it. So. One, two, three, four. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm gonna check something here. Activate. Yeah, it sounds loud. It sounds a bit loud. Maybe it's just compared to. Hold on. I'm gonna listen to this one without the music too. Maybe like this. Yeah, that's what it sounds like. Da 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 da. That's what it's doing. Dun 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 dun. This is like a digga-digga, is what it's, the melody it sounds like there. Diddle-dum, diddle-dum, da-da-dum, da-da-dum, da-da-dum. So, da-da-dum. Either it's could be this, like this, but actually I think it's only the two last ones, so it's no, it's this one, I think. Yeah. And next, the rhythmic pattern is the same as the first time. Da 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 da. So I'm gonna copy paste this one. Oops. Yeah. So, you might have noticed that it doesn't sound exactly the same. So one of the big differences is the melody here has a lot of pitch bending, like wow, 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 wow. Whereas the melody that I made has no pitch bend, so it becomes very like plain. Da, 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 da. But the original melody has these kind of pitches going upward in the beginning of each note. So let's add some pitch bends. Pitch bend. So yeah. Basically, from listening to it, it's always in the beginning is wham, wham, like this. And then this one also, I'm pretty sure it's a wow. So and this one has a like a short. Oh wait, let's do this. It has like a short little bend here. Gonna try this again. Yeah, like this. Wow, wow. Wow, wow. So, wow, wow. Both of these have pitch bend. Wow, wow. So, adding pitch bend makes it sound like this. So it's a little bit more interesting than before. Hey Ton, how you doing? Okay, the last thing I'm gonna do is use modulation. This one. Modulation is another word for vibrato. There are a couple of places where vibrato might be nice, so I'm gonna test using vibrato here, for example. That might be too much, but so if you listen to this melody here, here has a vibrato there. That's why I added a vibrato here. Yeah. Okay, let's listen to the melody together with the other instruments that I've added. Very cool. All right. So I think I have like 3 more things to add, and then I'm gonna finish this stream. So we've done melody. So let's go to the next one, which is backing chords. Piano, guitar, strings, brass, synths. In this case, it's gonna be synth, only synths. So let's listen to the song and see what kind of backing is going on in this song. So the backing is the +2 hours for all of this. Wow. Yeah. It takes, maybe it would take less time if I wasn't like explaining everything, but it does take time. It takes time to figure out a song. It's not something that you just do in a hurry. Actually, I started making the song at like 10:40 maybe, so the first 40 minutes was more explaining things and talking about the concepts. Let's do it in Halion. I will probably change it later to Magical 8-bit plug, but let's do it in Halion just so you can see it's possible to do it in Halion too. So out 7, and I'm gonna go here to the activate outputs, click this one, and I'm gonna make a MIDI track. Actually, I'm gonna have 2. I'm gonna have 2 tracks because I know this is one is to the left and one is to the right. So I'm going to make 2 of them. And they're going to play off each other a little bit. And this is probably a little bit difficult to figure out from just listening to the song. But it is a fun thing to explain and to show you guys that you can do this kind of stuff. So going to make another MIDI. Yeah, so we'll call this backing synth L, because one of them is going to be more to the left, and backing synth right, and the other one is going to be more to the right. So I'm going to rename these ones and call it HS, so I don't mix it up with the MIDI. Backing synth RHS. Alright, so I'm gonna start with moving these a little bit to, let's say L30, and then this one R30. So one is a little bit more to the left and the other one is a little bit more to the right. I could do it even more, actually. Maybe we'll do it 50%. So now it's 50%. If it's C, it means it's center. It's in the middle. And if you click L, it means it's completely to the left. If you click R, it's completely to the right. This number here, 50, is how many percentage is it to the side. I think it's percentage. Let's see. 99. Yeah, yes, it's percentage. So this can be left 99% here. But let's do it at 50%. So if you click L, I've never done this, 100. Yeah, then it becomes completely left. Ooh, what did I just do? Oh man, I did something I've never done before. It should be fine. All right. Also, I've been changing the volume of everything, so I'm going to lower the volume for these guys. Okay, so let's listen to it again. What kind of synth is this? So this is, it sounds like a chiptune backing. So it's either square or it's pulse or it's like, we can try some different ones. Like, let's see, pulse, this one. Ooh, I don't want delay, so I'll remove the delay. So this one is kind of close. It's not quite it, but good enough. So I want to do one thing to this one though. Let's see, mix effects. No. Where do I do the edit? Isn't there a way to like edit the attack and the release? That's the only thing I don't like about this one. It's a little bit too long, the release. I'd prefer if it didn't have a release. So maybe I'm not gonna do this one. Let's see if square, if there's a better one for, oops, not square, but square. Multi-square ARP, that's not in, sure. Square garden synth. Let's go with this one. Why not? Square garden. This is not what I'm using in the original one, but it's a fun one to play around with. Okay. So yeah, I've been doing this stream for a bit of a long time, so I will speed up this process a little bit because I sort of know what it is. So I'll just do it the way that I'm thinking it is. like that. I'm gonna do this without without the backing track, so it's probably easier. Actually, I might need the rhythm to get a sense of it. So. Yeah, but it would make it a little bit. I'd prefer to have it in one stream because there is the explanation in the beginning of the stream, and if you have it all in one stream, it's easier to follow, I think. Anyway, so I'll just continue and finish it this time. So here is the thing that makes it more interesting. Sounds okay, but I have this thing on the left that is always bouncing, always playing when the right is not playing, and making it sound a bit bouncy. So I'll try to do that now. Let's see here. let's actually listen to the original one now. I'll listen to the bass also while they're Oh, I think I understand what I'm getting wrong. It should be here. Ah, that's why. Like, I was thinking about why doesn't it bounce? It's because this is. Ah. Yeah, it needs to be a little bit delayed like that. Yeah. That's it. Ooh. Yeah. Now it makes more sense. It is delayed because the shuffle is here. It's 1. The shuffle is not 32 triplets, it's 16 triplets. So 1, 2, 3. There is where it is. Yeah. Now it will sound good. All right. Yeah. There it is. Let's try this. Ah, there you go. That's what I wanted to do. You feel that bounciness? That is because it's I'm using triplets. Yeah. That's groovy. Ah, I love that. Hey Marlo, what's up? Yeah. That sounds nice. I'm gonna copy paste this. Actually, let's just listen to these two. One is to the left. I'm gonna show you what the right one sounds by itself first. So it sounds like this. And the left one is doing this. Check this out. So it sounds a bit strange by itself, but if you put them together, they bounce off each other. Like they have this synergy, which they become like one instrument almost. You could do all of this in just one track, but it sounds pretty cool to have it like one a little bit to the right, one a little bit to the left. So I like to do this. I like to do backing tracks, using two tracks for chords that bounce off each other and not play exactly the same thing. Now, I know that this last part here dagga 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 da 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 dagga dagga. So it's dagga dagga. So it's like probably like this. Yeah. Yeah. And then the rest of the song is the exact same thing, but the key is different. So I'll copy paste all of this and change the key. I will use modulation on this one at the end because I know I'm doing that in the original one. And it sounds interesting, so check this out. It sounds very 80s if you do this. Gonna just play this one for you guys. That one. That's modulation. It's cool. All right, so let's listen to the whole thing with the new backings here. So here's something that happens sometimes when you use modulation. I use modulation at the end. Oh, wait, it's not this one. It's... And there is like, it ends with full modulation, which means when it goes back, it continues with full modulation from the beginning, which is annoying. And the way to fix that is you add 0 modulation at the beginning here. All right, very cool. Now, actually, I'm just going to show you one more thing, and then I'm going to finish this stream. There is like 2 things I could do, but I'll just do one more thing, and then we'll finish this stream. So I'm going to show you how to make the hello, no one, YT anims. So I'm going to show you how to make the whoop, whoop sound. It's a fun little sound effect, which leads me to, if you looked at my categories here, the last one I had was sound effects. And this song, it has like this one-shot sound effect. So that's what I'll attempt to make. And for this, I'll be using Magical 8-bit plug. It doesn't matter which, either pulse, square, or triangle. I think all of them will sound okay. I'll go with the 50% for this one. When I make this sound, I turn sustain to 0. Actually, I'm also gonna change the volume. I don't want it to be too loud. Sustain to 0. Decay is short. I'll do just this for attack and release. And then I'm gonna be using this one. End time. Auto bend. It means it does a bend automatically. And what we want, we want the pitch to go from a low pitch to whatever note we're playing. And if we do this, it becomes like, well, you'll see. It's easier to show it by playing it, I guess. Like this. This is what it becomes like. This sound. See, that wasn't too difficult to make. Just adjust a few things in Magical 8-bit plug 2 and you'll get a fun little sound like this. I like this sound a lot. I use it in a lot of my songs. What should I call it? I call it just 8-bit sound effect. All right. So let's listen to the song again and see where does it come in the song. What? 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 Here, I think. And and then here. Yeah. And at the end, it's like a boop boop. It's twice. So it's. Then I just repeat this. And yeah, this is just a loop throughout the song. Okay, let's listen to it without the original song and just listen to what everything sounds like now. Alright, so as a finish to this, there's one more thing that I haven't done, but that's okay. Well, this is enough for one stream. So let's listen to the original one, and then we'll listen to what I made today. And you can see if you came late to the stream, you can watch the stream from the beginning and follow along how I went from nothing to remake the whole song in Cubase. So here is the MP3. Sounds like this. Okay, let's listen to what I made. Alright, so there are some things that I would probably change, like maybe the drum sounds. I would use something different, and you know, I'll probably use some everything readjusted a little bit, but as far as what they're playing, it's almost the same as the original. So yeah, this is how I do it. This is how I go from, you know, listening to an MP3 and then putting it down in Cubase. It is a little bit tedious because you have to do like one thing at a time, but if you have a structure for it and if you practice a little bit, yeah, you'll be able to do it. And it is easier if you know a little bit about each instrument and each kind of instrument before you do it. Like you learn a little bit about, okay, how does drums work? What kind of beats are there for different genres, or what kind of bass lines are there, or something else like that. It will help the process. It will speed it up. But you can also just rely on your ears and like listen a million times and try to figure it out if you're persistent. So I hope this can be of help to anyone, and I will probably continue to work on this a little bit and brush it up. Maybe next time I can brush this up to something more that I could use for an actual song. Yeah, that might be good. Anyway, so again, I'll say if you were late, watch the stream from the beginning, and you can follow along my steps and try to do this for yourself for any song that you want to copy. So good luck, and feel free to ask me questions in the comments about something technical. I didn't explain everything in details maybe, and a lot of it is just relying on my ears, so it's hard to say how did I figure out what the melody was or what the chords were. That is more something I've listened to it many times so I can hear it. So that can be a bit tricky, but I hope it can help. Anyway, this has been a long stream, so I'll finish here for today. Thank you very much, and see you guys next time. See you guys next Sunday. Have a good week. Bye.